It's a pleasure to meet you all again in the duration of 24 hours channel. Thank you for sparing a few minutes of your day to accompany us and stay updated with the hottest news and noteworthy events that have taken place alongside 24 hours channel. In today's news, we have the following main highlights.
Dear viewers, welcome back to the China Flood Today News Bulletin. In today's bulletin, we bring you updates on the ongoing floods and natural disasters in China. Stay tuned for the latest developments. Landslides and breached embankments caused by heavy rainfall and flooding have affected tens of thousands of hectares of farmland and homes in China. The continuous deluge has forced urgent water releases from hydroelectric dams, exacerbating the situation. At least 40 people have been reported dead or missing, with houses buried in several scenic areas temporarily closed. In the southwestern province of Gorges, 6 individuals were trapped due to landslides that struck 3 villages. Local authorities have confirmed the rescue of 6 trapped individuals, while at least 156,000 people have been evacuated. Images from the scene show rescue workers tirelessly searching for those trapped amidst mud and debris in the devastated mountainous region of Dongnan. Officials have reported that 1,900 houses have been buried and 600 others have been damaged. According to the People's Daily, at least 1,200 people have died or gone missing in China this year due to flood-related disasters, resulting in direct economic losses of 41.6 billion Chinese yuan, equivalent to $5.9 billion. Many regions in China have been severely affected by continuous heavy rains since November, adding to the economic woes of a country already weakened by the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic. In another landslide incident early 2 days ago, 51 houses and 96 residents were buried in central Hubei province, resulting in the loss of 8 lives. State broadcaster CCTV reported temporary closures of certain scenic spots for safety reasons. The Sankan mountain area has also closed due to recent heavy rains, with the risk of landslides and other disasters in the region. In addition to impacting tourism, students participating in university entrance exams across China have faced great difficulties this week, struggling to reach exam venues on time as floodwaters inundate the streets in many areas. Local rescue workers have utilized trucks, inflatable boats, and ropes to transport students to exam sites in central Hubei province. Meanwhile, Jiangxi province in eastern China has raised its flood response level to the highest along the Tuyang River, as heavy rain has caused the river and reservoirs to overflow. With further rainfall predicted, the flood situation remains critical. Satellite monitoring indicates that the surface area of Lake Xinchuan and the surrounding water now exceeds 3,900 square kilometers, the largest in the past decade. According to the China Meteorological Administration's forecast, from January 11th to 17th, heavy rainfall will return to the central and lower reaches of the Yangtze River. Heavy rain is expected in certain areas, with the main affected regions including Guangxi, Guizhou, Hubei, Northwest China, Jiangxi, Anhui, Jiangsu, Shanghai, Zhejiang, and some other areas likely to experience large hailstorms. Mainland media warns that flood control efforts in the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River will remain critical in the coming days. Efforts are needed to prevent the occurrence of disasters such as floods in small and medium-sized rivers, floods in urban and rural areas, and landslides in vulnerable areas. A total of 17,000 people have been affected across 6 provinces, municipalities, and autonomous regions, with 30,000 houses collapsing and 9 rivers experiencing record-breaking floods in history, surpassing the flood levels of 2020. The beginning of the month, most districts and cities in Fujian province have been affected by heavy rain, particularly in the northern region. According to the Fujian Provincial Flood Control Office, from 6 a.m. yesterday to 6 a.m. today, 62 towns in 25 cities in Fujian province experienced rainfall exceeding 50 millimeters. Among them, 6 towns in 5 cities recorded rainfall over 100 mm. The largest rainfall was observed in the Fenghua town of Sidian district, reaching 147.7 millimeters, with the maximum hourly rainfall recorded at 92.7 millimeters. Due to continuous heavy rainfall, landslides occurred along the Yingzhou-Hamen Railway in Fujian. Weather forecasts indicate that rain and thunderstorms are expected across the entire province from tonight until tomorrow. The Beijing Meteorological Observatory issued a blue alert for the first high-temperature episode at 4 p.m. yesterday. It is estimated that from tomorrow until the end of this week, daily maximum temperatures in most areas of Beijing will exceed 36 degrees Celsius, with a possibility of reaching up to 38 degrees Celsius. Today, the Mainland China Meteorological Authority issued a high-temperature warning again, specifically mentioning a maximum temperature of 38 degrees Celsius in Beijing. In the past few days, China has been hit by continuous flooding and successive disasters, resulting in numerous accidents such as landslides and rockslides, claiming many lives and burying people under massive debris, requiring extensive search and rescue efforts. Most recently, at 2 p.m. today, after prolonged heavy rain, a landslide occurred, burying and devastating nearly 2 villages with a population of over 7,000 in Duongsun Hamlet, Huangmei County, Hubei Province, China. Only 9 bodies have been recovered by rescue teams, while the remaining unfortunate individuals are still buried under a colossal mass of rocks and soil that authorities are striving to address. Over 10,000 other individuals are reported missing and are being actively searched for by rescue teams, including the family of the local commune secretary. Villages located near mountainous areas often bear the brunt of tragic landslide incidents like the one mentioned above. Meanwhile, in Jiangdong Province, after days of heavy rain, a mountain landslide occurred, causing hundreds of thousands of tons of rocks and soil to crash down. Survivor Mr. Duong recalled, "I was sleeping when I heard a loud noise. I rushed out and saw rocks and soil pouring down from the mountain onto the 3 residential areas of the 347th Economic Corps of the People's Liberation Army of China." Mr. Kwa, an information officer at the 347th Economic Corps in the Jiangdong office, is one of the 5 survivors of this mountain landslide and remains deeply shocked. His voice trembled as he recounted the incident to a local newspaper. "In the middle of the night, about 27 of us were sleeping in the collective housing area when we heard a loud bang. I quickly got up and ran behind the houses to see rocks and soil pouring down onto the 3 residential areas. No one can access the disaster site for rescue." Sergeant Ha Honglong, who was rescued from the debris, said, "I feel like I've been born again." He recounted that he was sleeping in the staff room of the administrative office when he heard a loud explosion. Many others who couldn't wake up in time were crushed under a large statue, leaving them trapped. He tried his best to push the wall away, but in vain. "I shouted loudly. Luckily 2 people sitting nearby heard me and rushed in to help push the concrete slab to help me escape." He added, the subsequent waves of landslides continued to bury rows of houses, and many sections of walls were carried hundreds of meters away. The sudden landslide claimed the lives of more than 422 people, including 15 officers and soldiers of the People's Liberation Army of China and approximately 125 buried civilians, causing shock and outrage among the public. The rescue teams have only found 13 bodies so far, while the rest are still missing. While floods, rains, and storms are wreaking havoc on the mainland, the government shows no concern and continues to send troops to invade the territories and waters of neighboring countries, causing indignation worldwide. Xi Jinping is still fervently conducting military exercises day and night in the South China Sea, seriously infringing on the sovereignty of coastal countries, including our Vietnam. Some opinions suggest that Beijing is taking advantage of the world's focus on the situation in Ukraine to showcase its strength in the South China Sea. These exercises have been meticulously planned and serve various purposes, such as training with new platforms and technologies, and enhancing coordination among different forces, including the Navy and Air Force, according to Professor Carl Thayer from the Australian Defence Academy. According to the Australian expert, the recent military exercises by the Chinese Navy and Air Force, including complex Air Force drills, have lasted for over 10 days. The Chinese Air Force conducted day and night exercises involving various types of combat aircraft and carried out missions from air bases for around 20 hours. The overall picture shows that China and the US are strategic rivals engaged in a spiral of actions and retaliations in the South China Sea. In addition to the aforementioned exercises, the South China Morning Post provided notable statistics that China conducted nearly 100 night exercises in 2022, compared to only 30 in the previous year. Commenting on these actions by China, Dr. Hong Viet Truong from Ho Chi Minh City Law University stated that there is information indicating that China has continuously issued exercise notifications from June 4 until now in search of their military aircraft that went missing during the exercises. However, the prolongation of the training activities even after the aircraft was found suggests that China may have other intentions. Given the tense military situation in Ukraine, which has attracted global attention, there are concerns that China may seek to increase its positions and influence in the South China Sea, Dr. Viet assessed.
The previous news segment concluded the program of 24 Hours channel. Thank you all for your attention and viewership. Please leave your feedback in the comment section of this video so that we can timely respond and address any question you may have.